So RFK Jr. decided to have a bit of, I guess, grilling session with Congress. I'm gonna say it's a grilling session with Congress because I fucking hate RFK Jr. I hate him. So, yeah, that's why I'm gonna say that he basically got grilled by Congress. But what do we have here to begin with? It's just gonna be a lot of clips. This fucking Senate hearing that he had was like 3 hours long. I'm not going through the fucking whole thing. I'm going through the clips. Fuck you. I don't care. He claims that America did the worst on COVID, blames the CDC for forcing school kids to wear masks. So he's technically correct that in terms of casualty rate, America suffered the most deaths under COVID. I think about 1 million people died. But it's not because of school kids wearing masks. That was something that was meant to help the problem. Because, again, RFK Jr. is a dude who is fundamentally against the concept of, well, public health. He is a fucking eugenicist. He just wants people to die, which is fucking wild because this is also the same dude who will swim in fucking poop sewer water. Like, come on, bro. There's a reason why kids wear fucking masks at school to try to not get COVID. Is because if they get COVID, they come back to their house, as they do, and then give that fucking shit to their parents or vulnerable people that may be living within the house. Again, as expected, RFK Jr. doesn't give a fuck about Americans. He just wants people to die because he's a fucking eugenicist fucking freak. What do we have here?
America is home to 4.2% of the world's population, yet we had nearly 20% of the COVID deaths. We literally did worse than any country in the world.
Hey, dumbass, it's because of really bad fucking policy by Donald Trump. I think also in this exact same hearing, he also praises Trump for Operation fucking Warp Speed, which is fucking hilarious that he's saying this, but also praises Trump for Operation fucking Warp Speed. The reason why America was as bad as it was on fucking COVID was because of dumbasses like you spreading fucking COVID conspiracy theories, as well as the fucking president of the United States of America, and a bunch of unvaccinated people started getting killed off in fucking droves, getting sick and killed by fucking COVID. You people are the fucking problem. Nonsense.
And the people at CDC who oversaw that process, who put masks on our children, who closed our schools, are the people who will
They got closed because they were vectors of disease, you moron.
be leaving. And that's why we need bold, competent, and creative new leadership at CDC. People able and willing to chart a new course.
Dog, I wonder why you're fucking saying stuff like this. Because it's going to be in line with whatever freaky ass, stupid eugenicist bullshit that you fucking believe in. You just want people to die. Yeah, there's a reason why he is one of Nurgle's strongest fucking champions.
As my father once said, progress is a nice word, but change is its motivator, and change has its enemies. That's why we need new blood at CDC. That's also why it's imperative that we remove officials with conflicts of interest and catastrophically bad judgment and...
That's fucking hilarious coming from you, you motherfucker. Says the dude who used to be a part of a fucking goddamn vaccine skeptic 501c3 and was one of the main pushers of vaccines, child vaccination fucking misinformation. Complete fucking nonsense. That's so fucking funny coming from you, Bubby.
Political agendas. We need unbiased, politics-free, transparent, evidence-based science in the public interest.
Dude, that already was in place in the CDC, and you fucking removed all of those people, you moron, because they presented narratives that you didn't fucking agree with. You're the one who's bringing in his ideological and fucking political predilections into this. You fucking idiot. You're the one who's doing that.
Those are the guiding principles behind the changes at the CDC, and that is what you can expect all across our agency for the next 3 years.
Bro, you're the one who's bringing politics into any of this. Complete, utter fucking nonsense from this eugenicist fucking freak. Well, let's start getting into the fucking grilling. Ron Wyden. This committee's unwillingness to swear to this witness. Interesting. In this witness, rather. To swear in this witness is basically a message that is acceptable to lie to the Senate Finance Committee about hugely important questions like vaccines.
It's unfortunate that I have to say this, But this is a witness who has lied to members of the Senate Finance Committee. In response to over 35 written questions, including from me, he said, and I quote, that he would do nothing as HHS secretary that makes it difficult or discourages people from taking vaccines. That was clearly not true. His unprecedented unilateral actions to restrict access to COVID vaccines, that alone proves it. He tried to fire the senator.
Yeah, that's a good point there by Ron Wyden. Absolutely. Fucking RFK Jr. recently just put in a bunch of fucking restrictions for people to be able to get MRNA fucking vaccines, which are specifically COVID fucking vaccines, right? Because again, he's a fucking vaccine conspiracist and a skeptic. He doesn't agree with fucking vaccinations.
Approved CDC director after she chose the truth over what I consider his delusions. His prepared testimony even today includes...
Yep, a bunch of people have just left the CDC. A bunch of highly fucking qualified doctors. One of them got fucking fired, the CDC fucking director, by RFK Jr., and a bunch of people left in fucking solidarity with her. Because again, for RFK Jr., his whole fucking thing is to erode trust in public health as much as fucking possible, so then he has a avenue to market to these people in order to push more fucking vaccine conspiracy theories to them and fucking hawk homeopathic solutions and shit to them. That's why. It's all a fucking grift for people like RFK Jr.
It was the debunked lie that 500,000 children disappeared under the Biden administration's watch, a lie that the Trump administration is using as a pretext to hunt immigrant children and their families. So, my request, Mr. Chairman, and I think it's unfortunate that I have to do this, but given the unprecedented nature of the witness's behavior, I would ask now that the committee formally swear in Robert Kennedy as a witness.
Senator White and I will personally object and will reject your request. We will treat this witness as we treat all of the other administration witnesses.
Of course.
And let me just say again, as I said in my opening remark.
As expected from this, I guess, probable fucking Republican, this complete utter fucking dipshit. Like, I think it's perfectly fair to prosecute fucking RFK Jr. for, I don't know, crimes against fucking humanity at this point. Because, again, all of the misinformation that he's fucking pushed out and complete utter nonsense he is trying to do to try to politicize the fucking CDC and the HHS, which apparently he's not a fucking health expert in, yet he's, you know, a part of the, even though he's basically the top fucking medical officer within the United States of America right now. It's like, dog, why the fuck did you take this position then? If it is your job to not give fucking advice on stuff like this. It's complete fucking nonsense, dude.
All right, so we will have some partisan disagreements today. We're having partisan disagreements right now, and I am having partisan disagreements with you on your characterization of the facts. The bottom line is we will let the secretary make his own case in his opening statement.
Demon, by the way. Absolute fucking demon.
I'll only say, Mr. Chairman, that this committee's unwillingness to swear this witness is basically a message that it is acceptable to lie to the Senate Finance Committee about hugely important questions like vaccines. I think it's a great mistake.
Yep, and RFK Jr. consistently lies about fucking vaccines. What is this?
Disease. CDC failed their responsibility miserably during COVID, when its disastrous and nonsensical policies destroyed small businesses, violated civil liberties, closed our schools, caused generational damage in doing so, massed infants with no science, and heightened economic...
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you just saying this because you weren't in line? Because you want all those fucking children to go into fucking school? You want all those fucking people to get sick? You wanted probably tens of millions to die instead of just a fucking million people to die? You are a fucking vector of disease. You are attempting to become a fucking harbinger of death, you fucking freak. It's like the same shit with, like, what Ben Shapiro said, like, during the pandemic, where he's just like, well, if you're old, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're really old, and you're trying to stay inside and not work, well, personally, you need to go out there and work and have the economy work. You know, fuck you, suffer. Go out, suffer and die. Suffer to the disease. Hey, dumbasses, okay? Just like how anyone else has the supposed freedom to not take a vaccine, people also have the fucking goddamn freedom to not get fucking diseased by all the dipshits who don't take that fucking vaccine. Complete utter nonsense. RFK Jr. is just okay with the deaths of children, infants, the elderly. He doesn't give a fuck about any of this stuff because, again, like I've said before, he is a fucking eugenicist.
Inequality. And yet all those oppressive and unscientific interventions failed to do anything about the disease itself. America is home to 4.2% of the world's population, yet we had nearly 20% of the COVID deaths. We literally did.
Again, we've talked, I've already mentioned the reason why that's the fucking case. It's because of Donald Trump's very lackadaisical initial response to fucking COVID, when it should have been acted upon as aggressively as fucking possible. Donald Trump did everything possible to not do that and spread fucking conspiracy theories. and even go after a lot of the fucking vaccines that not Donald Trump, but rather Obama had within reserve in case something like this fucking happened. Donald Trump got rid of all those fucking reserve of vaccines.
Worse than any country in the world. And the people at CDC who oversaw that process, who put masks on our children, who closed our schools, are the people who will be leaving. And that's what...
Yeah, dude, totally. Complete nonsense. We talked about this fucking clip before. Absolute, just a fucking psycho shit right here.
Now the American Academy of Pediatrics has warned that the committee is being politicized at the expense of children's health. American Academy of Pediatrics, you think they're lying too?
I think the American Academy of Pediatrics is gravely conflicted.
Any evidence for that whatsoever? You're fucking conflicted, you dumbass. You were a part of a fucking goddamn board that is one of the main purveyors of fucking vaccine misinformation for fucking children. You're the actual dude with fucking goddamn conflicts of interest. Insane, dude. Actually fucking insane.
Their biggest contributors are the 4 largest vaccine makers. They run a journal, Pediatrics, which they make a lot of money on, that is completely dependent on pharmaceutical companies, so I don't...
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they totally make a fucking ton of money. Again, whoa. Hey, any evidence of that? Probably not. Oh, 1000% Boy Meets Smitty. He lies about as much as he breathes whenever he talks about health policy. Because, again, RFK Jr. is an environmental lawyer. He's not a fucking health expert. He doesn't have a fucking PhD. He doesn't have his doctorate. He has never studied anything in medical studies. He's just like a weirdo fucking conspiracy theorist, and he got his tapped on the shoulder in order to be a part of the Trump administration, simply due to the fact that he represents a large part of the broader MAGA sort of Republican base, and that is conspiracy theorists, because he peddles conspiracy theorists as much as he fucking breathes. Yeah, he's not even a lawyer for medical malpractice. He's just a fucking charlatan. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
One thing, I wouldn't put big stake in what they say that benefits pharmaceutical interests. Senator, I didn't politicize.
Dog, there's a reason why vaccine fucking makers probably put a lot of stuff and contribute to there, because of all the fucking public-private partnerships that exist within the United States of America. Because your fucking economy is privatized to fucking shit. So they have to fucking contribute to that stuff. And also, they have a lot of people that are experts in the creation of vaccines, so it makes sense that the American Academy of Pediatrics more than likely gets advice from those people. Not because they have, like, monetary gain to get from there. Again, he's not going to present any evidence for this because he's a fucking crank.
I depoliticize it. The Congress has been investigating
all over the country, Mr. Secretary. Scientists and doctors are saying otherwise. They're all wrong, too. They're all lying, according to you.
The scientists and doctors are supporting me all over the country. Oh, there is division.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. What fucking scientists and fucking doctors are supporting you? The 3 IQ schizophrenic freaks in the new Nurgle's garden that's gonna be fucking Florida, that every fucking health expert immediately came out and said, like, yeah, no. What you're saying is completely and utterly fucking psychotic. Nonsense. Yeah, it is probably just like 5 fucking cranks. I think he also references to fucking Dr. Mehmet Oz. Keep in mind, Dr. Oz, that charlatan TV doctor, basically just wants to have all fucking autistic people get killed off because they're not effective contributors to the fucking state. Yeah, dude, that guy's a totally sort of sane, safe doctor. Should definitely be fucking believed in everything that he fucking says. Also, he got fucking sued for that stuff and had to pay stuff out for a lot of the bullshit that he was saying. Complete, utter nonsense. Hot take, good to check what church your doctor attends. If it's non-denominational or some kind of fundy, run the fuck away. 1000 fucking %.
On opinion.
I don't get letters.
Complete fucking psychopath shit. What do we have here?
I depoliticize it. The Congress has been investigating
all over the country, Mr. Secretary. Scientists and doctors are saying otherwise. They're all wrong, too. They're all lying, according to you.
The scientists and doctors are supporting me all over the country. Oh, there is division on opinion.
I don't get letters from thousands of people who are not political saying that this set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these...
Dude, fucking RFK... By the way, RFK Jr., who likes to celebrate himself as, like, the Bill of Health, loves to breathe heavily into that fucking microphone. I think it got to a certain point, and this is fucking hilarious, where an aide comes in and tells him to fucking shut off the fucking microphone. And, you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, with this motherfucker RFK Jr. Perfect picture of fucking goddamn health right here, dude. He looks so fucking great. Looking extra fucking orange as well. Nice fucking spray tan you got there, bro. What? Want to look like your fucking dear leader who decided to give the whatever bullshit position that you currently fucking have right now, or the position that you're currently turning into complete bullshit with your stupid fucking crankery? Nice fucking meme, dude.
Set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these healthcare agencies, for decades to come. I don't get any letters from people saying it's going to make a big difference forever.
Maybe you're listening to a selective group of people.
You get me.
You're listening to a selective group of people. That's fucking hilarious coming from you. You're the dude who wants to just be around every fucking crank and dipshit and charlatan possible. Nonsense.
Well, I will tell you what, Senator. I will put my mailbag against your mailbag every day of the week.
30 seconds. Dangerous.
Oh, dude. You want to go fucking gut for gut? Bro, go gut for gut. That'd be fucking hilarious. Whatever, like, schizophrenic anti-vaccine freak probably writes into you saying, like, I love you, RFK Jr. versus all of the fucking experts that probably wrote in saying, please, can we stop this fucking complete moron? He's eroding the concept of public health because he's just a fucking complete utter crank and freak who is a eugenicist.
Mr. Secretary, this is about you and me. This is about kids being pushed in harm's way by reckless and repeated decisions to get scientists and doctors out of the way and allow conspiracy theories to dictate this country's health policy. I don't see any evidence that you have any regrets about anything you've done or plans to change it. And my last comment is, I hope that you will tell the American people how many preventable child deaths are an acceptable sacrifice for enacting an agenda that I think is fundamentally cruel and defies common sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
1000%. Keep in mind, there was a kid who died in Texas from vitamin A overdose because there's a measles outbreak in a lesser sort of vaccinated area within fucking Texas. You want to know what RFK Jr. suggested in order to try to combat that? Instead of getting your fucking vaccines, he said to take vitamin A supplements. And as a result, kids specifically, started to get sick and die from vitamin A overdoses because their parents are fucking freaks who don't actually care about their fucking parents or their children. Like I've said before, conservatives do not see their children as human. They see them as homunculi, as robots, as simulacra, to have things imprinted and programmed upon them. And this motherfucker is helping in terms of that particular fucking programming, that particular idea. RFK Jr. could give less of a fuck about the sanctity and safety of children because he does literally everything possible to fucking endanger them as much as possible with his stupid freakazoid eugenicist sort of takes and ideas. Because again, this is the same dude, by the way, who also thinks that all mentally ill people who can't pay fucking taxes, for fuck's sake, and that extremely bizarre fucking take that he gave. And because he thinks that, unironically, people who are mentally ill cannot be contributors to the fucking state, which means they should all just be thrown into a hole somewhere. Complete fucking nonsense.
Do I get a reply? Or, Senator, you've sat in that chair for how long? 20, 25 years, while the chronic disease in our children went up to 76%. And you said nothing. You never asked the question why it's happening. Why is this happening? Today, for the first time in 20 years, we learned that infant mortality has increased in our country. It's not because I came in here. It's because what happened.
What the fuck are you talking about? You are helping contribute to that. The reason why infant mortality rate went up during COVID is because of the fact that dumbasses like you posted so much fucking conspiracy theories about COVID, making it such that these parents would not get their fucking vaccines and would not take care of their fucking children most effectively. That's why they started fucking dying, because of people like you and the president that you support and are in rapport with, in the fucking administration with. Fucking nonsense.
During the Biden administration that we're going to end.
I'm going to let Senator Wyden respond briefly to that, and then we're not going to go over like we just did.
This committee on a bipartisan basis. Colleagues, my cabinet secretary says that we have no interest in chronic care. Secretary,
Mr. Chairman, could we have regular order, please?
We're in the process of turning around the Medicare program with the chronic care bill that Chairman Hatch, when he's chairman, in this committee, together on a bipartisan basis.
All right, we're going to proceed, and I just want the rest of the members.
I mean, you know, he does also support the One Big Beautiful Bill, which cuts fucking Medicare and Medicaid. Fucking nonsense, dude. What do we have here?
Secretary Kennedy, later this month, your new panel will meet to consider changing vaccine recommendations for American children. In addition to the COVID-19 vaccines, they are set to review recommendations for the hepatitis B vaccine, for measles, for mumps, for rubella and varicella vaccine, and the RSV vaccine. These are common back-to-school vaccinations for children all over the industrialized world. If you change that, you owe parents in Colorado and across the country the benefit of some transparency, I think. If your panel recommends changing the vaccine schedule for children, do you anticipate that fewer children will receive these common vaccinations, yes or no?
Well, that's a pretty good fucking question there, because again, he recently did just recommend that he wants to change some of the recommendations for people, for what vaccines people should fucking take, specifically with kids, right? Like, again, like, here's the fucking thing with people like RFK Jr. He also more than likely still believes in the conspiracy theory that vaccines fucking cause autism. Like 1,000 fucking percent. Like he still fucking believes in that fucking conspiracy theory. So he's just willing to do anything possible, you know, to basically facilitate these children dying from fucking preventable diseases which have vaccines for them. Because again, he's a fucking crank and he's a fucking freak. RFK vaccine provides immunity to viruses from humanity. That's true, Alex.
What I would say, Senator,
the obvious answer is yes. Should parents and schools of Colorado be prepared for more measles outbreaks as a result of that, Mr. Secretary?
Senator,
how about more mumps outbreaks?
I do not anticipate a change in the MMR vaccine. ACIP is an independent panel. So,
well, it's a panel you just put those folks on. Far from what you said. There are people with ideas that are completely outside the mainstream.
You mean out of the pharmaceutical paradigm?
Well, again, yeah, RFK, you just put a bunch of people on that panel that agree with you, buddy. Like, you politicize it. Like, you're the fucking problem here, dude.
Let me just say, Mr. Secretary, all these vaccines that we're talking about today are free and accessible to parents today in America who have the freedom to be able to make that choice for their children. Will that be true after your handpicked panel makes their judgments about these vaccines?
I think that parents should be free to...
I know you said that before. I do, too.
To make their own choices.
So will they be just as free after these...
I assume they will be.
I will hold you to that, Secretary Kennedy. Because this is not a podcast. It is the American people's health that's on the line here. This is the last thing, by the way, our parents need when their kids are going back to school, is to have the kind of confusion and expense and scarcity that you're creating as a result of your ideology. I think it's critical for you to share the evidence that this panel will rely on. Will you give the American people 6 months or 6 weeks in advance the record that they're going to rely on to make these decisions? Will you make it transparent for the American people?
All the evidence is transparent.
Will you make it in advance transparent for the American people so they can comment on it?
All the evidence is transparent for the first time in history, and you were never there complaining.
That's a nice fucking meme. Yeah, all the fucking evidence is transparent. Yeah, I don't fucking think so. If it was so fucking transparent, then why do you have to fucking do all these changes? Why do you have to make it such that you throw so much bullshit and misinformation into the fucking wind and recommend shit like vitamin A fucking supplements to combat fucking measles outbreaks that were happening in parts of fucking Texas that led to children getting killed? You went to a fucking funeral for that, you ghoul. And you have no fucking remorse for any of that? Complete nonsense.
We're picking those people and then running their products with no safety.
You can characterize it any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You just moving the Titanic.
Are you saying that the MRNA vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel after firing the entire...
There is associations with myocarditis and all these other fucking bullshit. But the problem is that the conservatives and anti-vaxxers, when they talk about that, overblow the issue completely. It's like, basically, it's like not that big of a fucking deal. Yeah, whoa, sometimes vaccines have fucking side effects. Do you really think that the FDA would have fucking approved those vaccines to go on the fucking market if there had such ridiculous fucking adverse side effects? Do you really fucking believe that for even 3 seconds? Well, here's the fucking thing. RFK Jr. does fucking believe stuff like that. Because his whole modus operandi is to have people take as, well, basically, have as little fucking vaccination as possible because he has a vested interest in people not getting fucking vaccinated. And thank you, that's true, Alex. Yeah, myocarditis is worse in people who got COVID. So you're telling me that a disease that primarily attacks the respiratory system of someone and another fucking goddamn disease as a result of that attack upon the respiratory system became worse because of that fucking initial disease that attacks the respiratory system? Oh, well, I know, it's fucking shocking. Crazy. Because myocarditis attacks the fucking respiratory system. And COVID was a respiratory fucking disease that attacked people's lungs. And it made myocarditis cases worse. Not because of the fucking vaccine. Which is complete, utter fucking conspiracy theory.
You're evading the question.
No, I'm asking the questions here,
You're
Mr.
evading
Kennedy.
that question.
I'm asking the questions,
I'll
Mr.
ask you a
Kennedy.
question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of our agency.
Yeah, by putting out as much schizophrenic fucking bullshit as possible. Dude, you're the one who did the fucking conspiracy theory about mRNA vaccines being ineffective because of the fucking mutagen bullshit. When that's just not the fucking case. That's not how that fucking works. Here, we'll fucking even look that up. COVID vaccine mutagen. Basically, what he basically said was just like, oh, here's the problem. The reason why mRNA fucking vaccines don't really work whatsoever is because one fucking mutation of the disease is basically going to cause problems when it fucking has a particular mutation. And the mRNA vaccine is not going to be effective after that one mutation, which is just not true. Do you still think that it's a bad idea to go after the base fucking goddamn COVID-19 if, whoa, there's a mutation that all of a sudden happens? That means you should stop vaccinating for the base disease when those antibodies can still be effective fucking goddamn fighters against the fucking goddamn new mutation, or at least try to fucking fight against it, right? Is it going to be 100% effective? Depends on the fucking body. Like, there's no way. There's not going to be anything that's, like, always 100% fucking accurate. Like, what do you mean? It's complete fucking nonsense. So where's, like, it's the conspiracy theory about the mutagen stuff, right? What is it? Mutation. No. Well, here's the myocarditis and pericarditis after COVID-19 vaccination. In some people, COVID-19 vaccines are linked to inflammation of the heart muscle or the lining outside the heart. This is a rare side effect seen more in young males than in other groups. These complications may happen after getting sick with the virus that causes COVID-19. Well, there's that fucking conspiracy theory immediately fucking debunked. But RFK Jr. also pushed with that stupid conspiracy saying, like, well, if there's like one mutation, all of a sudden this vaccine is ineffective. Dog, I wonder what do you say this again? Would he say the exact same shit about fucking flu shots? The fucking common flu has constant mutations. There's a reason why there are yearly fucking flu shots, because the flu consistently fucking changes all the fucking time. There's no one-stop shop fucking vaccine that can take care of it. Although with stuff like mRNA, it can potentially cure the fucking common flu. It can cure the common cold potentially because of the technology with fucking mRNA. And like I said before, the point of mRNA vaccines and how they work is it basically gives a tutorial for your antibodies to say like, oh, hey, wait a minute. That's that disease that we kind of like know about that this person had before. Oh, okay. Like, because it's a dead version of, well, COVID in particular. That's how it works. Your antibodies take that, analyze it, and be like, okay, I now know how to effectively fight it. So when it sees these similar fucking proteins with COVID-19, which are going to be the same, even through all the fucking mutations, they're going to be very, very fucking similar, your antibodies are going to know, like, hey, I know what that is. I know how to fight it, and we're going to fucking start fighting it. That's why mRNA vaccines are as effective as they are. But of course, this crank doesn't give a fuck about any of that stuff. What do we have here from Bill Cassidy? Bill Cassidy, who is a Republican, by the way, and is a doctor, went along and confirmed this complete utter freak. So I guess he's trying to seek fucking redemption in the eyes of his constituents for confirming this complete utter fucking freak. What do we have here?
Senator Cassidy.
Thank you. I'll try and restore a little calm here. And I'm approaching this as a doctor, not as a senator. I'm concerned about children's health, seniors' health, all of our health. And I applaud you for joining the president in a call for radical transparency. Thank you for that. I said yesterday, I believe it, that President Trump deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed. If he'd been President Obama, he would have gotten it. But because of Operation Warp Speed, forcing the federal government to come to a vaccine development within 10 months when others said it couldn't be done, we saved millions of lives globally, trillions of dollars, we reopened economies, incredible accomplishment. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator.
So let me ask you, but you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait, that was I did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask.
Got his ass. Well, that's a little interesting. Yes, and RFK Jr. did say that with the stupid myocarditis fucking bullshit. even though, like, myocarditis is more common in people who got fucking COVID. More people died of fucking COVID than people who fucking got the vaccine. A complete, utter fucking conspiracy theory, yet again, from people like fucking RFK Jr. That's a very, very interesting contradiction there, RFK. You should be able to fucking address that. You think that President Trump should be able to get a fucking Nobel fucking prize for what he did with Operation Warp Speed, which, let's be honest here, he really didn't do anything besides facilitate private-public partnerships and made it such that the main people who benefit from the COVID vaccinations are going to be mostly private enterprise, because that's exactly what fucking happened. It was mostly private enterprise who were the main people that benefited from the Operation Warp Speed, but whatever. It's the United States. I don't expect really much of anything less. It's very interesting that you're willing to bootlick Trump over that, but you're also in the same breath saying that all those fucking vaccinations that were sped out within about 10 months are also killing all of them. Well, that's a little interesting. Very interesting.
Because you also...
Senator, I just want to make clear, I cannot say that.
We'll check the record. That's a question of fact. You also said that...
He literally said that earlier with Senator Bennett. He said that. He's trying to gaslight. Like, there's no other way to say it besides he's a gaslighter.
Also, as lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed when, as an attorney, you attempted to restrict access.
I'm happy to explain why.
I have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. It also surprises me because you canceled, or HHS did, but apparently under your direction, $500 million in contracts using the mRNA vaccine platform that was critical to Operation Warp Speed. Again, an accomplishment that I think President Trump should get a Nobel Prize for. You canceled $500 million in contracts. Now,
again, he's a Republican. He's gonna fucking glaze Trump because, of course, right? I mean, again, I thought Operation Warp Speed, in terms of the marvel of technology produced, is pretty fucking insane. The problem is that I have with it specifically is the fact that it was done primarily through public-private partnerships, and it wasn't done with the public good in mind. Because again, Trump doesn't give a fuck about the public good.
I grew up in a middle-class family, so $500 million seems, this is canceled, seems like an incredible waste of money. But it also seems like a commentary upon what the...
Yeah, that's also another thing that he did do, right? Like that, as Senator Cassidy is specifically saying here, Bill Cassidy rather is saying here, the reason for as to why RFK Jr. more than likely canceled that $500 million grant is because he just wants people to die of fucking preventable diseases. Like, he just wants people to die. Like, that's it. He's a eugenicist freak. He wants to just have people suffer and die from preventable diseases as much as possible, even though mRNA, which has been a thing that's been developing for years at that point, but got the significant push that it needed when it was fucking needed, of course, for the benefit of the capitalist economy, but whatever. At least it got fucking put out there when it needed to be. Complete nonsense, but that's a whole other fucking story. I hate the private partnership thing and the sort of like inherent commodification of healthcare, something that is an inelastic demand. That's a whole different fucking topic, of course. It is incredible that he's just willing to go after that stuff, put out as much idiotic conspiracy theories about it, and basically just be like, oh, what do you mean? Oh, I'm just a little fucking boy. Like, I'm just gonna like lie and gaslight to people and just like cancel whatever the fuck I want about this particular marvel of fucking technology, simply just due to the fact that I believe in like 3 IQ conspiracism. And he has a fucking benefit. He benefits from putting out as much vaccine misinformation. Again, former head of fucking Children's Health Defense, one of the main purveyors of vaccine misinformation on the planet.
The president was attempting, what the president did in Operation Warp Speed, which is to create a platform by which to create vaccines. So it just seems inconsistent that you would agree with me the president deserves a tremendous amount of credit for this.
Is this a question, Senator Cassidy, or is this a speech that you don't want me to answer? Because I want to answer that question.
Please.
If it's a question.
But be tight, please.
First of all, the reason that Operation Warp Speed was genius is it's something nobody had ever been done. I don't think any president, but President Trump could do it. It got the vaccine to market that was perfectly matched to the virus at that time when it was badly needed, because there was low natural immunity and there were people getting very badly injured by COVID. And then, but he was also...
Well, that's a little interesting that he's saying that. What about stuff like the common flu? There's no natural immunity for that. If you can just get the fucking flu very, very commonly. It's so fucking funny how he mixes in the fucking conspiracism with the fucking glaze of Trump. Objectively fucking cartoonish behavior.
Also brought in therapeutics like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin and protocols for treatments, and there were no mandates. And
okay, I have another question, so please.
That's where I began litigating.
Well, that's because it was proven that there was hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin was all fucking bullshit. Like, it was just bullshit. It was bullshit pushed by conspiracy theorists. What do you mean? It was all fucking a bunch of bullcrap. It was complete nonsense, dude.
Against President Biden's mandates. Now,
so let me go on because
in terms of canceling those contracts.
I have limited time, Mr. Secretary. I'm sorry. You called for, and rightly so, that we should restrict participation in agencies for those with conflict of interest. I would like to submit for the record a evaluation of the conflict of interest of those who are on the ACIP and the Vaccines and Related Biologic Products Advisory Board. It was not 97% as alleged, rather it was 6.9%, and it was 1.2%, I think, for the other panel.
Without objection.
Now, I am concerned, though.
Oof. Interesting. Hardly any fucking potential for conflict of interest, even though RFK Jr. thinks that panel, because they take advice from people who fucking make vaccines, is all just fucking a conflict of interest. He thinks it's a fucking conflict of interest because the fact that they are taking advice from people who make fucking vaccines. That's why he thinks it's a conflict of interest. It's complete nonsense.
Because many of those whom you have nominated for the ACIP board... Excuse me, can I have my time back?
Yes.
What I am concerned about is that many of those whom you've nominated for ACIP have received revenue as serving as expert witnesses for plaintiffs' attorneys suing vaccine makers. Now, one of my colleagues in another setting alleged that you see more...
Well, that's a little interesting. I wonder why RFK Jr., who's this guy who values transparency so much, is putting a bunch of people who represented plaintiffs who've sued vaccine makers. Almost as if he wants to create as much conflict and fucking chaos for people to not get their fucking vaccines. That's why. He just wants people to fucking suffer. That's the point. Like, if there's another fucking outbreak that happens, this motherfucker RFK Jr. is going to be one of the main reasons for as to why there's going to be another big outbreak. And I'm making a bet it's going to be from fucking Florida, especially with that complete, utter psychopath, Joseph Ladapo, who basically said he's going to end all vaccine mandates. Every single one of them. Complete fucking nonsense.
Interested in settlements and science. If we put people who are paid witnesses for people suing vaccines, that actually seems like a conflict of interest. Real quickly, do you agree with that?
No, I don't.
Of course.
It may be a bias. And that bias, if disclosed, is a...
It may be a bias, but it's not a conflict of interest. Do you know what a conflict of interest then is? Typically, a conflict of interest is derived from a bias, you idiot.
Okay. It's not a financial.
Let me finish up. You also told Senator Wyden at the outset that you didn't want to take vaccines away from people. And as I conclude, I would like to say this. Because of the conflicting recommendations made about COVID. This is from Eric Erickson, good conservative out of Atlanta, Georgia. Occasionally gives me help. My wife has stage 4 lung cancer. She's one of the people the COVID vaccine actually helps. Thanks to the current mess at HHS, CVS is unable to get her vaccine. Secondly, an email from a physician friend of mine. Hey, Bill, I'm not even sure what I'm asking, but we're all confused and concerned about who can get the COVID vaccine. We are having our attorney try and render an opinion, but there's no firm guidance and concern about liability if vaccines are given to a patient requested but not on the current CDC list. Pharmacists are requiring prescription now even for patients over 65, creating a huge headache. I submit these for the record.
Without objection.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Senator Cantwell.
You're wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're wrong, Cope. Even though he literally did that exactly. Put in a bunch of recommendations, to put in a bunch of, like, stupid barriers from people to be able to get more vaccines. Hey, RFK, why do you want so many elderly people to die? Curious, isn't it? Alright, what do we got here? You accept the fact that 1 million people died from COVID. I don't know how many died. How many people died from COVID-19 in the US? This is pretty easy. Deaths, 1.2 million. That's the reported deaths. The CDC estimates is also about 1.23 million in comparison to 1.2 million or 1.22 million. A difference of about 5,000 people. Very, very cool. That was a fucking 5-second Google search, by the way.
Just again, some basic facts. Do you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID? I don't know how many died. You're Secretary of Health and Human...
You can Google that, bro. You Google it. You're the HHS secretary, and you don't know how many people died from COVID. Nonsense.
Services. You don't have any idea how many Americans died from COVID? I don't think anybody knows that because there was so much data chaos coming out of CDC, and there was and these are modeled. You don't know the answer of how many Americans died from COVID. This is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Do you think the vaccine did anything to prevent additional deaths? Again, I would like to see the data and talk about the data. You had this job for 8.
It's right there. I found the data, guys. I don't know. Do we need to get it from like an official CDC, whatever the bumblefuck bullshit? Okay, sure. Where's the fucking, where's the official CDC stuff? COVID-19, well, this is from the WHO. From WHO? From the World Health Organization. Probably find this, somewhere within, well, here we go. Look at this. Americas, not specifically the United States, but that's where, you know, the United States is. It's in the fucking Americas. Very interesting. Well, here's the CDC. CDC COVID data tracker. Oh, it's an error. I wonder why this page might be down. That's a little interesting. RFK, did you have something to do with this potentially going down? Every other fucking university and everyone that has fucking studied into this in statistics organization has the fucking numbers, and they more than likely got that shit from the CDC when they were allowed to accurately report on it. Because guess who made it such that initially that it was difficult to collect numbers for people who fucking died? Oh, it was the Trump administration who was making it difficult for the CDC to put out data on the COVID-19 not vaccines, but the pandemic. Why? Because he knew that it was making him look bad politically. So he would do everything possible to get in the way of accurate fucking data collection and accurate fucking data reporting being done by the CDC because it made him look bad politically.
8 months, and you don't know the data about whether the vaccine is safe. And that's the problem, is that they didn't have the data. The data by the Biden administration is absolutely dismal. So who's politicized? You're saying...
How the fuck do you know that it's absolutely dismal? What about the data that came out of Donald Trump's administration? Data that he fucking tampered with. Is that good? Or he at least attempted to fucking tamper with and throw doubt into the wind. Like, is that good fucking data? Really? In comparison to the Biden fucking CDC. Complete fucking nonsense, dude.
Biden administration politicized all the data. Go back to Dr. Campbell. They fired Dr. Trump, Surgeon General. They fired Dr. They fired all the people who questioned the orthodoxy. They fired Dr. Gruber, Dr. Calzone.
Because they were fucking freaks. That's why they got fucking fired. Because they were stooges that were input in there by the fucking Trump administration. That is why they got rid of them. And they were effectively making it harder to do fucking vaccinations of people. That's why they all got fired, RFK Jr., because they were basically allowing a pandemic to sweep through the United States.
Secretary of Health and Human Services doesn't know how many Americans died from COVID. Not knowing the vaccine helped prevent any deaths. And you were sitting as Secretary of Health and Human Services. How can you be that ignorant? Like, you know, I remember when we went to the hearing with you, I asked you about community health centers. You didn't know what role it was. I've been visiting you. I'm glad you got the one.
Very, very cool.
Community health centers there.
Well, we got more fucking... I guess this is the follow-up on that community health centers, but... we all know that they're getting cut because of the Medicaid cuts. A bunch of rural hospitals and community health centers that relied quite heavily on those Medicaid grants basically were just like, affecting them specifically, which is kind of interesting because they hardly operate off of a fucking good profit margin because they operate in relatively remote and isolated areas. Guys, it's almost as if there might be problems with having a for-profit health fucking service. Might be some issues there, causing all of these single hospitals that operate in rural areas of America to basically, well, shut down and not be able to provide care. But RFK Jr. doesn't give a fuck about any of that stuff. They're just a bunch of ruraloids who should just suffer and die because they're, I don't know, crass fucking peasants. Like, who the fuck gives a shit about any of them? That's how it works in the mind of fucking RFK Jr., the fucking freak.
Your community health centers, they are terrified. With all due respect to my good friend the chairman, the big awful bill. Because they are going to lose healthcare across the board. They already live in food deserts. They can't get to a nutritionist because Medicaid doesn't do enough reimbursement. If you're going to want Americans to get healthier, should they have access to nutritionists? Should they have access to good science about healthy food? Absolutely. Well, then how is that going to happen with the Medicaid cuts that are taking place? There are no cuts to Medicaid. Sir, that is absurd.
That's just a lie. Like, literally... The hallmark of the one big beautiful bill is the fact that Medicaid is getting fucking cut in order to justify the fucking tax cuts. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, listen, the GOP will turn around and claim the left hates rural America. It's complete fucking nonsense. Yeah, like, literally, that is one of the biggest cuts. It's that and fucking, it's Medicaid and fucking SNAP, which got cut the most.
Not a single, some of my Republican colleagues, there's not a single study that does not, I can tell you, I was in Franklin, Virginia a couple days ago. The rural hospital is going to close. The hospital system was so afraid we wouldn't even let me have the meeting there. But that rural hospital is going to close. And
They are looking for where those folks are going to go. I mean, you're supposed to...
I still fucking hear RFK's fucking heavy breathing in the mic, bro. Bro's having trouble breathing, and he's pretending to be a paragon of fucking health. Fucking nonsense, dude.
Healthcare policy not being the doctor in residence for all of America. I hope I can say I'm still going to trust my doctor rather than your health advice. And obviously, Tom...
True. Real. What do we have here? You're just making stuff up, Senator? What is this? Despite rhetoric to the contrary, President Trump has a weakness for swamp creatures, especially corporate monopolies. So this was before RFK Jr. Basically, because this is a tweet that he had. So, by the way, like, RFK Jr. was pretending to be like this, like, sort of like lefty sort of alternative for the Democratic Party, because he's a complete fucking charlatan who will just do anything to get power. Because that's the point of all of this. He's a charlatan who will do anything for fucking power. And he's going to talk about, you know, Donald Trump being a piece of shit. This is back when he was running as a fucking Democrat. He wrote this fucking dumbass shit. Very, very cool. What do we have here? Especially corporate monopolies, their lobbyists, and their money. After promising to drain the swamp, instead he hired swamp creatures to regulate their own industries. Operation Warp Speed and the lockdowns were the most devastating impact of Trump's weakness, but not the only one. That's so fucking funny. He's trying to do the fucking stupid fucking conspiracy takes while being anti-fucking corporate. Yeah, this is really funny coming from the current fucking swamp creature that is RFK Jr. Damn, and when did he write this? June 11th, 2024. That was about a fucking year ago. Back when he was still fucking trying to run as like a libertarian independent in the presidential race. That's so fucking good. God. It's a good thing that the fucking Democrats ended up shunning this complete, utter, like, psychopath and fucking freak. It's complete fucking nonsense. Yeah, one of my first acts as president will be to replace industry lobbyists in the executive branch with public-spirited officials capable of advocating for the national interest. What he means by that is he's going to go after the nonpartisan fucking doctors and put in fucking complete utter cranks.
You produce the data that you relied on and that this FDA relied on to change those parameters. You did it behind closed doors. And now parents who decide that they do want their children to have I'm not
You're just making stuff up.
You know, sometimes when you make an accusation, it's kind of a confession, Mr. Kennedy. So
ooh, just saying that he's fucking projecting, because he is projecting. Bro, you fucking wrote this shit, man. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like literally, you wrote this, bro. Like, now you're making it up. You're making it up. Projection.
Let's just start with this. So here's what's going to happen. To Senator Warner's point, to the parents who are concerned all around the country, to people who want to get...
Dude, that little fucking cope chuckle. Dude, the fucking... what is the... it's the term that Demon Mama used. The fucking smuckle. Like, he thinks he's, like, being smug and he's trying to, like, own Maggie Hassan right here, right now. And when in reality, he's getting his ass fucking served on a fucking platter, dude. Being made to look like the complete, utter swamp corrupt creature that he is. Fucking nonsense, dude.
COVID vaccine this fall, even if they're under 65, because the boosters have worked, there's been much less serious disease. People do not have the same level of threat and risk from COVID that they used to because of these vaccines. People who want to exercise their freedom of choice are being denied that because you are citing data that you won't produce to the public. You're making things up to scare people, and it's a lie.
She's correct here. No, this is accurate. Like, the CDC and RFK Jr. specifically has been hiding a bunch of fucking vaccine, like, data as well, right? RFK Jr. Hiding data about vaccines. Tough hearings on vaccines. He's been hiding a bunch of fucking goddamn studies. I'm a physician who has looked at hundreds of studies of vaccine safety. Here's some of of what RFK Jr. gets wrong. 4 months serving. Many statements are factually incorrect. For example, in a newscast aired on June 12, 2025, Kennedy told Fox News viewers that 97% of federal vaccine advisors are on the take. In the same interview, he also claimed that children received 92 mandatory shots. He has also widely claimed that only COVID-19 vaccines, not other vaccines in use by both children and adults, were ever tested against placebos, and that nobody has any idea how safe routine immunizations are. As an infectious disease physician who curates an open database of hundreds of controlled vaccine trials, including over 6 million participants, that's a lot of fucking data right there, I'm intimately familiar with the decades of research on vaccine safety. I believe it is important to correct the record, especially because these statements come from the official who now oversees the agencies charged with protecting Americans' health. Children receive 92 mandatory shots. Today includes roughly 50 injections. State entry, school entry now laws typically requires 30 to 32 shots across 10 to 12 diseases. Well, that's an immediately fucking debunking. Very, very cool. Placebo testing for vaccines. Of the 378 controlled trials in our database, 195 compared volunteers' responses to a vaccine with a response to placebo. Of those, 159 gave volunteers only a saltwater solution or another inert substance. Another 36 gave them just the adjuvant without any viral or bacterial material, as a way to see whether there were side effects from the antigen itself or the injection. Every routine childhood vaccine antigen appears in at least one such study. Very interesting. Once an effective vaccine exists, ethics boards require new versions be compared against the licensed standard, because withholding proven protection from children would be unethical. Interesting. How unknown is the safety of widely used vaccines? Kennedy has insisted on multiple occasions that nobody has any idea about vaccine safety profiles. Of the 378 trials in our database, the vast majority published detailed safety outcomes. Like, again, broadly speaking, he's just a fucking liar. He is a fucking charlatan. Complete, utter fucking nonsense. He just lies about as much as he fucking breathes. He is the dude who fucking withholds data on fucking vaccine misinformation when other people have not vaccine misinformation, but vaccine information, rather. By doing a bunch of fucking vaccine misinformation, he will withhold data talking about more fucking effectiveness from vaccines, from physicians like that individual that we just read some fucking testimony for, talking about the safety and effectiveness of fucking vaccines, of which he has done millions of fucking trials throughout multiple fucking decades. He's a liar.
With respect, I do not think I'm the one making
you are lying right now, Senator.
Nice fucking meme. Cope, seethe, mauled. Elizabeth Warren, what do we have here?
With Health and Human Services. Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them.
Even though he has basically now started taking away vaccines from children, from elderly people, and he's just started doing the exact fucking opposite. Nice fucking meme.
Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people under the age of 65. In announcing the change, you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS.
But he literally just did the exact opposite, dude. That's so fucking good, bro. My god, dude. It's actually fucking insane. Yeah, exactly, Boy Meets Minnie. It is meant to be confusing on fucking purpose, because again, RFK Jr.'s whole shtick, his modus operandi, is that he wants to erode trust in public health as much as possible, because he has a vested interest as a lawyer for the people who basically sue vaccine providers to basically take their fucking cases. He gets fucking money from that, and he used to be a part of a board that spread the most fucking vaccine misinformation on children. Again, he has a vested interest in this as a fucking lawyer who takes those fucking cases of people suing vaccine providers.
Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend...
Which is, by the way, he is attempting to basically stop healthy people from being able to get those fucking vaccines. Yeah, it's complete fucking nonsense, dude.
Then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your product.
Hey, dumbass, there's already fucking plenty of fucking clinical data out there for COVID-19 vaccines being effective. You are fucking lying. You just don't believe the data because, again, you just want people to die from COVID. That's it.
Promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job,
You're going
and
like
that
this.
is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
That's true.
Away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacy.
Yeah, he did say that during his confirmation. Whoa, immediately being a hypocrite and contradicting himself? Who would have thought?
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy
The
for free.
question is, everyone who wants it, that was your promise.
I know I never promised that I was going to recommend products for which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator...
I'm not taking them away from it.
Secretary...
But he literally just changed the fucking recommendations, effectively trying to fucking take it away. So that means Americans who are under fucking 65, who may want to get their COVID booster shots for whatever fucking reason, might not be able to get those fucking booster shots, and may put people who are immunocompromised in their family in fucking danger.
You want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data? Is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way that they could last month and get access.
It depends on the state.
Cope? I don't know. It's just like, what else are you supposed to say besides fucking cope?
Head of the CDC, that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign.
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no. So if you had an employee...
Why the fuck would someone fucking admit that? Hello? That's how that fucking works? Huh? If I went up to fucking RFK Jr. and said that I'm a black man who does fucking magic tricks at a fucking circus show, would he just like inherently fucking believe it? Just because I say like a very obviously false claim or some shit? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? HHS secretary, by the way.
Who told you they weren't trustworthy? Would you ask them to resign, Senator?
So, I'm sorry, but this is not what she has said publicly. She has said...
I'm not surprised about that.
So you're saying she's lying?
Yes. Every conversation I had with her...
And that's just right. This is the same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable, and you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month...
The confusion, again, like Boy Meets Minnie said earlier, is the point. Yeah, caught instantaneously, because this is just shit you just fucking look up very, very easily. Because he did fucking fire those people. He did. And in solidarity, a bunch of other fucking doctors left. Because, again, RFK Jr. is a crank. He's a charlatan. He is a liar. He has again, I've said this before, he has a vested interest to push as much fucking vaccine and disease misinformation as possible. Because he's a lawyer who has taken cases of people who have sued vaccine providers before. There is an interest there by RFK Jr. to do that as much as fucking possible. Because, again, he makes money from taking those cases. That's why.
She became a liar?
Yeah, you should ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago you were voting against her. Oh, because you thought she was either incompetent, ineligible, or unsuited to the task.
I voted against her because I was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump, and it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you're...
That doesn't change the fact that he fucking fired her. We got Big Burn. What do we have here from our big man himself?
Bill threw 15 million Americans off of healthcare, substantially raised premiums. It is going to have a terrible impact on nursing homes, community health centers, rural hospitals all over America. Very briefly, it's not really making America healthy.
By the way, already, as I've said before even the One Big Beautiful Bill stipulation for the Medicaid cuts, because again, the Republican Party decided to have the cuts go into effect after the midterms, so they could try to supposedly not face as much fucking consequences. As a result of these cuts that are in effect now, or will be in effect relatively soon, a bunch of rural hospitals have already started closing. All across the fucking country. Tons of them have started to close. I don't know if it's hundreds or if it's dozens, but so many of them, which already don't make much of a fucking profit, which were relying on grants from Medicaid in order to stay afloat so they can provide their fucking services to those people in fucking rural America, the place which those conservatives pretend to care so much about, taking away their fucking healthcare and their fucking hospitals because of, I don't know, tax cuts for the fucking rich. You know, never let a fucking conservative tell you that they fucking give a shit about fucking rural people. They don't give a shit about any of them. They could give less of a fuck about them. doing those fucking cuts to make those fucking people suffer even more than they already do. And RFK Jr., he's perfectly okay with that because, again, ew, rural peasants getting fucking healthcare? Disgusting. Who wants those guys to get healthcare?
Again.
It's going to be the biggest infusion of federal dollars into rural healthcare in American history.
Yeah, by cutting the main thing that they needed in order to stay afloat financially. And it's going to be the biggest infusion. I don't remember any stipulations within the One Big Beautiful Bill saying that there's going to be a federal grant program for rural hospitals specifically. That seems a little incongruent. This seems to be a little opposite. That's a little interesting.
Why? Because you're cutting $150 billion for rural hospitals. You're getting $50 billion back. That's not an infusion. That's a loss of $100 billion.
Seems like basic math to me. $50 billion infusion after cutting 3 times the amount. Nice meme. What's this? What do we have here? Organizations that agree that casting aspirations on vaccines. Cites Trump administration officials. Very cool.
We've got the entire medical community on one side. You got the AMA, representing hundreds of thousands of doctors, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association. All of these organizations are telling us that COVID vaccine and vaccines in general are safe and effective. You are casting doubt on that. Who are the organizations that are agreeing with you in casting aspersions on vaccines?
The primary advisors are Marty McCary, Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Oz, Vinay Prasad.
Yeah, Dr. Oz, a TV fucking crank doctor, and also a bunch of random fucking dipshits within the Trump administration, a bunch of Trump administration officials. There's fucking Jay Bhattacharya, who's apparently an actual fucking person. I saw him once. It's fucking crazy. Hey, every time I look up anything from Jay Bhattacharya, who's the main guy that RFK Jr. loves to fucking talk about and hawk and say, like, yeah, this guy is a total, like, he's fantastic and excellent. He's, like, a foremost expert. You try to look up anything from him. If he's such a world-renowned epidemiologist and expert, he would have some fucking medical articles out there. Why am I not finding any RFK Jr.? That's a little interesting. It's almost as if he's probably a fucking crank. And we all know about Dr. Oz. Bro got fucking sued for pushing a bunch of crank fucking science and crank fucking healthcare fucking advice. He got sued for it and was forced to settle out. Like, come on, bro. Fucking Dr. Oz. Nice fucking meme, bro.
Few doctors who agree with you. I'm giving you
Not a few doctors. What you're talking about is there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry.
So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted and that they should not trust their doctors. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single...
Yeah, by the way, no evidence that being presented here at all by fucking RFK Jr. because, again, the main purpose of... And all these, like, fucking 3 IQ simpering morons saying that, oh, Bernie Sanders is actually owned by Big Pharma. That's why he's pushing the jab so hard. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make any fucking sense. For the claim that RFK Jr. has presented and has consistently fucking presented, he's presented no evidence for it at all, besides a bunch of fucking bunk shit that he got from ChatGPT, for fuck's sake. Nonsense, because anyone worth half of their fucking salt can recognize that RFK Jr. just pushes out lies and pushes out fucking conspiracy theories. Well, unless you're a fucking complete crank yourself and you believe in fucking crankery. That's a whole fucking different story. Complete, utter fucking nonsense.
Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the...
Everybody but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you'll agree with me on that. Okay, you were running for president, you got $1 billion behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt, but you...
True. That's very interesting. Again, the billionaire who was backing fucking RFK Jr. Oh, great. Jay Bhattacharya is now fucking NIH fucking director. Boy Meets Mini, like, now that we actually know how to spell this fucking dipshit's name, does he have, like, any fucking medical articles? Let's see. Jay Bhattacharya was a professor of medicine, economics, and health research policy at Stanford University until March 2025, where he left his position at Stanford. So he's a professor. What fucking articles has he presented? Are these some of the stuff that he's written? That is a lot of different fucking shit. What was that? Hormone replacement therapy? Cardiovascular health in the United States. Boy, I'm curious now. Hormone replacement theory was, or hormone replacement therapy was widely used among postmenopausal women until 2002, because observational studies suggested that HRT reduced cardiovascular risk. The Women's Health Initiative randomized trial reported opposite results in 2002, which caused HRT use to drop sharply. We examine the relationship between HRT in use and cardiovascular outcomes, death, and non-fatal hospitalizations in the entire U.S. population, which have not been studied. We use an instrumental variable regression data design to analyze the relationship between... Okay, there's nothing here about fucking trans. I thought it was like some shit about fucking trans people there. I'm not gonna lie. On HRT. I got fucking curious instantly. 6 articles not available based on funding mandates. He has 119 different fucking articles. Interesting. Well, now that I actually knew how to fucking spell his fucking goddamn name. What other fucking sussy shit has he said? To convene with the Council of Councils. There's a lot happening in National Institutes of Health, J. Bhattacharya, pediatric patients. National Health Advisory Child Health and Human Development Council will meet starting Tuesday. Design Chairman Alison Cernich leading the 2-day event. The agenda includes a discussion of GLP-1 drugs. Councils come together, key context. Is there even anything here? Debates over diets? We love debating, don't we? Opinion, J. Bhattacharya. Why the NIH is pivoting away. Fuck, I wanted to look at this opinion post from WAPO. I was curious. He's justifying RFK's fucking complete nonsense. Well, that's a little fucking interesting. Okay. What else has he even said? Has he said anything interesting? What's this? Assessing mandatory stay-at-home and business closure effects on the spread of COVID-19. Results. Implementing any NIPs was associated with significant reduction in case growth in 9 out of 10 study countries. Well, that's a little interesting. Doesn't this directly contradict shit that fucking RFK Jr. says? Almost as if it's effective to have people staying at fucking home. And that business closure were actually a good thing. When RFK Jr. earlier said that business closures during COVID-19 was actually bad. Very, very cool. Basically, he says restrictive policies don't help, which is false. Really. Including South Korea and Sweden that implemented only IR NPIs, Spain had a non-significant effect. After subtracting the epidemic and LR NPI effects, we find no clear significant beneficial effect of MR NPIs on case growth in any country. That's just complete fucking bullshit. What the fuck are you talking about? The reason why the fucking disease stopped spreading as much and got fucking... it became less and less fucking effective was because of people doing fucking remote work. This is just a lie. In France, for example, the effect of MRNPIs was plus 7%, blah, 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 when compared with Sweden, plus 13. Yeah, because apparently the main sort of country that they cite is Sweden, who didn't do any fucking lockdowns whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure there were other factors and other reasons that contributed to Sweden not getting as many fucking cases in comparison to the United States of America. Because it's a much fucking colder climate up there. A lot more difficult for fucking... for diseases to be able to survive out there. That's why, you dumbass. Very, very cool. And also, billionaire who supported RFK Jr., who's a vaccine fucking crank. From what I recall correctly, the richest donor was, here we go, it's Nicole Shanahan. Her. who was, by the way, RFK fucking Jr.'s fucking vice presidential nominee, who has a private foundation, BioEcho, that promotes research to lengthen the human reproductive lifespan. She is a fucking vaccine skepticist. Shanahan has questioned scientific consensus on vaccine safety and efficacy. And yet he's received money from this fucking billionaire. What's this? Another thing from Jay Bhattacharya? What do we have here? Or Bhattacharya? Whatever. However the fuck you pronounce that shit. Working paper press. Does health insurance make you fat? Dude. What, is he suggesting that people should have health insurance because they're becoming fat off of it? I don't think I have to look into anything else besides this fucking bullshit. What? Yeah, this Jay Bhattacharya guy is a complete fucking crank. What a meme, bro.
Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think the issue...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone...
Hey, hey RFK, who's Nicole Shanahan? The billionaire you get fucking money from, bro, for your... that you also named as your fucking VP candidate.
You're saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the pharmaceutical industry is a greedy institution which is charging us the highest prices in the world. They are pervasive. But to suggest that every institution, the AMA, the pediatrics people, is corrupt because they disagree with you is an insult.
It's not because people disagree with me all the time. I have arguments in my agency, heated arguments every day with Jay Bhattacharya, with Marty McCary, with Dr. Oz.
You have given me the names of a few people.
Yeah, with Dr. Oz. I bet you're having so many arguments with Dr. Oz where he fucking consistently brings up, like, so, you know, autistics are not contributors to the state. Why don't we just throw them all in the hole? Well, you know, maybe we shouldn't throw them exactly into a hole. Maybe we need to put them in a pit of spikes. I like the way you think, RFK. I bet that's the fucking kinds of arguments that they have. Fucking crank. What do we have here from Tina Smith?
Last 8 months, you have claimed to make America healthy again, but in actual fact, you have led the charge in the Trump administration to destroy what is best in our healthcare system. And your denials and your evasion and your lies here do not change that. You are the Secretary of Health and Human Services, yet you're trafficking in these fringe idea and discredited theories that are completely out of step with the scientific consensus, and you seem to be willing to say anything in the moment.
True.
Even if it's untrue. So last time you were before Congress, Secretary...
That's such a fucking good point. Again, like the same thing that Elizabeth Warren brought up earlier. He was supportive of the fucking CDC director, had liked the fucking CDC director, saying that she's great, fantastic, and excellent, and then fucking fires her in the same breath after the stupid recommendations that he did with fucking COVID-19 after he fucking changed all that shit. He's just a fucking charlatan, dude. There's like nothing else to say besides he's just a complete charlatan.
Secretary Kennedy, you claimed, and I quote, I have never been anti-vax, I have never told the public to avoid a vaccination, but in a podcast, you said the opposite. You said there's no vaccine that is safe and effective. So that sure sounds anti-vax to me.
I believe I have the exact reference pulled up. Why don't we take a look at it? Let me see. It should be. It's not this one. I believe is the Lex Friedman podcast. It's a rather, here we go. It's this one. Pretty fucking famous clip that he had on Lex Friedman.
There's no vaccine that is, you know, safe and effective.
Those are big words. What about the polio? Can we talk about the...
Well, here's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah, here's the problem. The polio vaccine contained a virus called simian virus 40, SV40. It's one of the most...
By the way, SV40, he's currently lying right now. After it was studied that SV40 was incredibly carcinogenic, which he is saying, which is correct, that got fucking taken out by regulators. And polio vaccines do not have SV40 in them anymore.
Carcinogenic materials that is known to man. In fact, it's used now by scientists around the world to induce tumors in rats and guinea pigs in labs. But it was in that vaccine. 98 million people who got that vaccine in my generation got it, and now you've had this explosion of soft tissue.
Yeah, and it got fucking taken out after the studies were done on it by regulators. Nonsense.
Cancers in our generation that kill many more people than polio ever did. So if you say to me that the polio vaccine was effective against polio, I'm going to say yes. And if you said to me, did it kill more people, did it cause more deaths and avert, I would say I don't know because we don't have the data on that.
I don't know. This is him just basically throwing down to the wind that vaccines have killed more people than they saved. Nice fucking meme on Lex Friedman.
Secretary Kennedy. So let me ask you, when were you lying, sir? When you told this committee that you were not anti-vax, or when you told Americans that there's no safe and effective vaccine?
Both things are true.
Oh, so more denial, more back and forth.
Both things are true. again, like I've been saying before, the confusion is the point. The conspiracism is the conspiracism is the point, because RFK Jr. has a vested interest to push out as much fucking conspiracy theory and complete utter nonsense as possible. Why does he want to push out all the fucking conspiracy and nonsense as much as possible? Because he's a lawyer who will take cases for people against fucking vaccine providers. That is why.
I know.
Can I explain why, Senator? You just...
No, actually, I want you to listen to me.
Okay, go ahead.
I want you to listen to me, because I've been listening to you. You said that ACIP is an independent panel after you stocked it with your picks. You said that you want evidence-based science, but it seems that what you mean is evidence that supports your view, not the scientific consensus. And you dared to sit there and call my colleague from New Hampshire a liar when she presented you with facts that don't support your view of the world. It's incredible. But let me move
on. Conspiratorial fucking crank. What do we have this? RFK loves to play a game where he denies things he said on camera.
Tragic shooting.
I do have to agree. RFK Jr. loves to fucking gaslight.
At Annunciation Catholic School in my home state of Minnesota, you went on Fox News blaming school shootings on antidepressants. You have no evidence of that because you have no evidence of a connection.
Did he just say fucking... I literally did a fucking segment on this, bro. RFK Jr. Minnesota shooter. Fucking YouTube.
All right, Bill, back to our top story at this hour, the heated hearing between HHS Secretary Kennedy and Senate Democrats. One moment getting a lot of attention, Minnesota Senator Tina Smith pressing Kennedy about comments he made on Our Air after last week's deadly shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic school mass.
Just last week, in the days after the tragic shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in my home state of Minnesota, you went on Fox News blaming school shootings on antidepressants. You have no evidence of that because you have no evidence of a connection. You want to talk about...
You're just saying something. You're just making stuff up.
You know, this is what you...
So we pulled the tape. Here's Kennedy talking to Brian Kilmeade on Fox & Friends last Thursday, unedited. It runs about 2 minutes.
I know we're all watching this together, Mr. Secretary, and wondering why we prevent it, and we're still trying to get a lot of answers to a ton of questions. But the one thing is clear, you are dealing with a person who's trans, that was transitioning. Are you going to be examining at all some of the drugs that are used in order to make that transition happening, to see if it plays a role? Because we also know there was a trans shooter in the Tennessee situation.
Yeah, we are doing those kind of studies now at NIH. We're launching studies on the potential contribution of some of the SSRI drugs and some of the other psychiatric drugs that might be contributing to violence. You know, many of them on their...
Caught, spam the fucking caught, spam it, spam caught. He's lying. He's just fucking trying to gaslight. Complete fucking nonsense. Bro, you said this last Thursday, man. Like, you said this. Are you for real, bro? Come on, man. Like, oh no, like, you said that on camera, bro. I pulled that shit up in, 3 minutes, man. Are you for real? Yet you want to say, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that antidepressants and SSRI drugs were the main causes of the you said that. You said that you were going to look into, you said that. You literally said that you were going to fucking look into them. As, a potential, big cause for the fucking shooting and suicide ideation. And also... A lot of fucking violent ideation that people have. Yeah, fucking nonsense, bro.
You're just saying something. You're just making stuff up.
You know, this is what you say, right? Secretary Kennedy wants...
I'll play the clip again. Making stuff up, eh?
The potential contribution of some of the SSRI drugs and some of the other psychiatric drugs that might be contributing to violence. You know, many of them on their have black box warnings that warn of suicidal ideation and homicidal ideation. So we can't exclude those as a culprit, and those are the kind of studies that we're doing.
So I've never seen...
Well, that was easy. Come on, man. Actually fucking pathetic, bro.
I'll present you with information that does not fit.
I did not blame that shooting. I have no idea whether... I have no idea, and I never said that. You're making it up. You're twisting. Yeah, you are. You are being dishonest right now.
Bro, you said that literally last week, man. You said that, 2 days... last week, man. Tina, I guess, is fucking... Tina Smith is fucking gaslighting now? Oh, okay, bro. This is definitional of fucking gaslighting.
You want to talk about mental health and gun violence in this country? If you want to talk about mental health and gun violence in this country, we should be talking about that, because that's what the parents of Annunciation School...
You don't want to talk. You want to harangue, and you want to have partisan politics. I want to actually solve these problems.
Yeah, I want to solve these problems by throwing so much fucking doubt in the wind. And basically huffing a bunch of copium when I get called out on my fucking gaslighting attempt. Get the fuck out of here, you dumbass.
Trump administration is doing right now is making it harder for people in this country to get access to mental health care. So don't talk to me about solving the mental health care crisis when you are making it harder. You cut Medicaid, which is the #1 payer for mental health care services in this country. You decimated the agency of Health and Human Services that focuses on mental health and substance abuse. That's what states count on. They're cutting their services to schools as a result of that. Several years ago.
Because, again, and the reason why he's specifically going after mental health care services is because he's a fucking eugenicist. He believes that people who are mentally ill, again, this is a take that people have seemingly forgotten that he had several months ago, that people who are mentally ill are unable to pay their fucking taxes. Very, very fucking strange take to have there, RFK Jr. Why are you saying that specifically? You have some explaining to do. Why would you say that? Because in reality, with people that he has around him, like fucking Dr. Mehmet Uz, who also fucking agree with the take that people who are mentally ill are aberrances and are fundamentally incapable to being able to contribute to the fabric of the state. He, along with all of the fucking freaks around him in NIH, the CDC, and the HHS, all these fucking psycho motherfuckers have basically one agenda, a eugenicist agenda that is simply meant to exterminate people. That's what he fucking wants. He is a eugenicist. Period. End of story.
In a bipartisan way, Congress came together and passed the Safer Communities Act, which made important investments in mental health care and did some important, though small things, to reduce access to guns. What do? You propose cutting that funding.
Real. Crazy. Raphael Warnock. What's our boy got here?
Menarez to your office on August 25th for a meeting. Is that correct? Yes or no?
It could be.
Fucking Twitter.
I just don't know the date. I'd have to check my calendar.
Was Jim O'Neill, the man you just appointed as acting director of CDC, in the room on whatever date you met with him, since you can't recall? Was he in the room when you met with Dr. Menarez? In that meeting, did you criticize Dr. Menarez for her statements to CDC following the shooting where she said, quote, misinformation can be dangerous?
I don't believe so. I have no recollection.
You don't believe you criticized her?
Oh, I criticized her.
Did you criticize
Not
her?
for that.
Did you criticize her?
I don't even.
Did you criticize her for her statements to?
Wait, I thought you had like a perfect brain, RFK. I thought you would fucking remember all this stuff. What's going on here? That's a little interesting. Yet you seemingly don't remember any of this stuff. Interesting.
CDC workers following the shooting.
Did I what?
I wonder, does HGH cause a lot of fucking memory issues? Maybe he's having a genuine memory problem because of all the fucking drugs he has to take to maintain his, like, weird fucking physique.
Did you demand that she fire career scientists or public experts at the CDC?
Yes.
Did you demand that she accept the recommendations of your hand-picked vaccine advisory panel without further review by career CDC scientists?
No, I did not.
You didn't ask for her commitment ahead of time that she would accept the recommendations from the advisory panel. You're denying
what
that?
I asked her about is she had made a statement that she was going to not sign on, and I wanted clarification about that.
Did you tell her to accept the advisory panel's recommendations?
I told her I didn't want her to have a rule that she's not going to sign on to it.
Did you say that the CDC was, quote, the most corrupt federal agency in the history of the world?
Not the history of the world, but definitely within HHS.
Did you say?
Oh, I'm certain. Now we're gonna make these like fucking stupid mealy mouth fucking distinctions. Now that you're gonna fucking grilled for it, of course. You shouldn't expect anything else from this complete utter fucking crank.
I did not say that, but I did say it's the most corrupt agency in HHS.
Oh, by the way, this is like something that RFK Jr. loves to do. He loves to just like play with words that he used to have. Very emblematic of being a fucking lawyer, of which he is. He loves to like play with like really, really fucking specific words and just try to gaslight his way when he's getting caught for something in particular.
And maybe the government.
So you call the CDC corrupt. Did you say that CDC staff are, quote, horrible people?
Horrible people?
Did you say that they're killing children and they don't care?
No.
He has said that in the past. He's lying.
Okay, I think that we all have a history of listening to you and these answers, but you're on the record for a number of these statements. Despite your lack of credentials and expertise, clearly you have an agenda. It is a threat to the public health of the American people. It's clear that you are carrying out your extremist beliefs, which is why you attempted to fire Dr. Menarez.
We're the sickest people on the world. We're the sickest people on earth.
I'm speaking.
How am I?
Buddy, like, don't say that the American people are the sickest people on earth when you look the way that you do, and you constantly did heavy breathing into the microphone, and yet you claim the American people are the sickest people on earth. Bro, you're the same dude who's got a fucking worm in his brain and hear the whispers of fucking Nurglite demons consistently, and spreads complete, utter fucking stupid misinformation all the fucking time. Again, quick reminder, Lex Friedman podcast.
Yep, here's the problem.
You're the same dude who has said that the polio vaccine has killed more people than polio, which is just nonsensical. It's complete fucking nonsense. And here's another fucking thing. RFK Jr. said it's mythology to claim that vaccines eliminated polio and suggested that the banning of DDT is what actually eliminated polio. Again, complete fucking nonsense, dude. Like, he's just lying. DDT was banned in 1972. The Salk vaccine was made in 1953. And by 1957, polio deaths were markedly down. Like, what else are you supposed to do with this complete, utter fucking moron, dude? He's a fucking charlatan. He is a liar. The purpose of RFK Jr. is that he just wants to push out as much fucking misinformation as possible, cause as much fucking confusion as possible in terms of vaccine misinformation, because he has a fucking vested interest in representing people who sue vaccine makers. That is why he says the things that he says. He has an interest. He wants to push it out as much as bullshit as fucking possible so then he can collect some fucking money representing people in the cases against vaccine makers. That is why he pushes the propaganda that he fucking pushes for in particular. He's a complete crank. He is a charlatan, and everything that he says should be taken with a absolute fucking grain of salt. Nothing he says should be fucking believed, because he's a fucking freaky, stupid, dumb fucking eugenicist who wants to exterminate everyone who has a fucking mental health problem. Don't think there's really much else to say besides RFK Jr. is a crank and a eugenicist. He just wants to kill people. That's it.